Okay, so here we are with another G.I. Joe unboxing video, and this is G.I. Joe Classified Series Snake Eyes from Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins, the movie, which, as I said in other reviews of figures from this series, I wasn't that big a fan of the movie, but I wound up buying Storm Shadow because even though I already had the Amazon exclusive Arctic Storm Shadow, uh, that was in the Ninja Force type outfit, I wanted to have one that was in more of a traditional white outfit, and the movie Storm Shadow was about the closest I could get at the time. They've got a new one coming out that looks more like the old figure, and I'm excited about that, but as it is right now, that's like the closest you can get to a classic Storm Shadow, so I went ahead and bought that. Uh, I got the Baroness because I was never able to find the Target exclusive Baroness on the motorcycle, and even then I didn't really like the motorcycle, so I was still kind of on the fence about it. But even her, like, I wound up switching out her hair so that she looked better. Like, the hair on that outfit, on that figure, was terrible. I don't know why they put that poor girl into such an unflattering haircut. I'd seen where somebody done something really clever, and they'd taken the belt buckle, they cut the belt buckle off, and they put it up on her chest so that she looked more like the original toy. So I might wind up doing that too. I don't know. It's not a bad figure at all, but I had to improve it. So Snake Eyes, on the other hand, didn't seem to bring too much new to the party. I mean, like, I already had this Snake Eyes, which is pretty definitive. The only thing that was wrong with this Snake Eyes, this is the first classified Snake Eyes they did, was that he didn't come with an Uzi, and I was able to find, like, an Uzi from, like, one of those cheap dollar store type soldiers. I had to trim it up a little bit so it fit in his hand properly, trim up the handle a little bit, but that's pretty cool. I like that one. And then I also, if you recall, I had done a review of this one, is the 1982 style Snake Eyes that they did that came with Timber. He actually came with an Uzi, so good for him. So this one I'd been kind of on the fence about as to whether I was even going to get him or not, because I mean I already had, like, at this point, 2 Snake Eyes figures that I really liked, and this one just kind of, it's another Snake Eyes figure. But then I got a really cool idea for a custom I'm going to do. So he's basically going to wind up being custom fodder. But I figured while I got him, we'll go ahead and do an unboxing video of him. So he's got artwork over here. You can see they put blue highlights on him, almost like how they do in the comics. And another picture of him over here. You can see him unmasked, looking like Henry Golding. Apparently, some people had a problem with Snake Eyes being played by an Asian guy. I really didn't care. Like, the only thing I could think of that might have caused a problem with that is in the comic book, it's him being a blonde dude that makes it really obvious that he's an outsider in this ninja clan and that he's not somebody who really belongs here. He's somebody who's been taken in, like, in a visual sense. That kind of thing is important in comics. But honestly, I kind of felt like in the movie that was not really a problem because Henry Golding still stuck out in that ninja clan like a sore thumb. so so it still worked. So that was not a problem that I had with the movie. I didn't have a problem with Henry Golding's casting at all. Dude's a good actor. I'm not going to complain about people casting a good actor as one of my favorite characters. What I am going to complain about constantly is that Snake Eyes is the villain in that movie, and Storm Shadow is entirely justified in hating him. And keep in mind, Storm Shadow is like my favorite character, so I don't even mind, like, a sympathetic portrayal of Storm Shadow. He's a good guy at heart. He deserves it. But Snake Eyes is not a bad guy at heart. He doesn't deserve it. So anyway, I cut the tape at the bottom, and pull this out, pull out the whole little tray, and again, like most of the figures in this, he's got the Arashikage hexagram behind him. So many G.I. Joe fans have gotten this tattooed on their forearm since the 80s. Very popular tattoo. So I don't have it because I don't have any tattoos. So, okay, let's go ahead and take out his accessories. And I'm going to tilt this down just a little bit further so we can maybe see a little bit better. Oh, you can see my trash can there. That's embarrassing. So this has got like a nice thick piece of tape holding both of these knives in here. So I'm actually just going to cut through the tape very carefully because I don't want to cut the knives. And they're both look to be identical knives. And they've got this kind of knuckle guard on there and like a texture that's, it seems like it's sculpted on here like where it makes it kind of like a rough type of metal and then like dry brushed silver. So that's kind of interesting. I think this is kind of a missed opportunity though, because we could have had some spikes on the knuckles for Snake Eyes' infamous spike knuckle trench knife collection, but here I am complaining about minutia when there are much bigger problems with how this character was portrayed in this movie. So then we got a Katana Sword, very nice Katana Sword. It's a nice plain Katana Sword. Doesn't really have anything like super distinct about it. There's like a wavy, I don't know if I can catch that on the camera, there's like a wavy line down the middle of it like you see on Katana Swords sometimes. I think this is supposed to be Morning Light. And then the Sheath, just got some nice gold detailing on it. Golding detailing, because Henry Golding. Sorry, I couldn't resist the bad pun. It's got a nice little peg on there, so that should fit nicely onto his back, I hope. There's little holes in there, I guess, to make sure that there's less suction when you try to pull the sword out. Make it pull out a little bit easier. And then we have an unmasked head that is an excellent likeness of Henry Golding. It's even got stubble dry brushed onto it. Let me see if I can get it where we can focus on that for a little bit. Very good likeness of Henry Golding. So if you're a fan of the actor, probably worth picking up just for that head sculpt. And it'd be a good head sculpt to use on a lot of custom characters, I think. And then we have Snake Eyes himself, wearing the costume that he wears for like 2 seconds in that movie. So, and like I said, it's not all that different from what I've already got. It's black costume, visor, some armor bits, some skin-tight bits here and there, similar forearm guards. There aren't any reused pieces, but they might as well have reused some pieces just because some of it's so similar, you know? So, let's see, yeah. So, he's got like some slight armoring at the torso. You can see that, and armor plates down the abs. He's got the Arashikage symbol on the arm, which is funny because he basically destroyed the entire ninja clan and probably shouldn't deserve to wear that symbol. He's got some armor on the thighs. I don't know if there's a place to put these knives. I was kind of hoping there might be some knife sheaths stuck on him in various places, but I don't really see any. I guess you could kind of tuck him into the web gear. Let's see if that works. Yeah, you can kind of tuck him into the web gear. Although I think it would probably work best if I had it turned around this way. So that way we can imagine him reaching up and pulling the knife out like that. But I don't think it would stay in there very well as it would if there was like some kind of bespoke sheath for him to be holding. So I'm going to put one of these in his hands right now. And like I said, one of my minor complaints with G.I. Joe classified figures as a whole is that it's got a really hard time getting the accessories into the figure's hands. It's, again, a double-edged sword because, you know, you want the figure to grip the weapons well. Once you get the hands, the weapons in the hands, it don't let go. So that's good, you know. It don't let go unless you, like, put some effort into taking the weapon out of the hand. You can't, like, he doesn't accidentally drop it if you move the figure too fast or bump it into another one. But there we go. He holds that rather nicely. And then, sword is a little easier because we can just kind of, in theory, slide it into the hand like that. So he holds that nicely. And again, nice tight grip. He's not going to drop any of this. I'm going to take the knife back out of his hand, and we're going to see if I can get him into a two-handed sword stance. Should be fairly easy. The articulation on these figures is really good. I just want to kind of do it because I like to see, anytime I get a character with a sword, I like to see if he can hold it with two hands. And yeah, that looks pretty cool. So, the costume design for the movie was pretty decent. They did a pretty decent job with this. I have some nitpicks about it, of course, because I'm always going to have nitpicks. But, the main problem I think of is that I kind of feel like this visor is too flush with the rest of the mask, and it kind of points down in the middle, and I don't necessarily like that. Like, going back to this one, that visor is pretty much perfect. You see how it's got like a little bit of volume where it sticks out from the face, and you know, they even used like a glossier paint on the visor than it's more of a matte finish on the mask. So it stands out a bit more. Even though it's black on black, it's two distinctive shades of black. Whereas this one, I kind of feel like the mask itself is kind of glossy. And the visor is, I think, slightly glossier, but not really enough to make it stand out, you know? So the head just looks kind of plain to me. We should probably see if we can fit the sword on his back. Now, there's a hole in the back of his web gear, and the sheath, scabbard, whatever you want to call that, should go through this hole, and then the hole in the back. The original classified had a similar sort of thing. He also had a backpack, and the sword could peg into the backpack, but I find that backpack to be a little unwieldy, so I don't really use it. I think I put it on there facing this way because I figured he's right-handed, probably, and he would reach for a sword with his right hand, but it seems like it's curved in the opposite way you would want it to curve. You would want it to curve this way, so when you reach back, it flows with the scabbard. So maybe he is left-handed. I don't know. And then just for the sake of completionism, let's go ahead and pop that head off. And we'll put the Henry Golding head on here. And there we go. That looks fine. So if you were a fan of this movie, this is probably a figure you're going to want to get because it's the main character from the movie. It's a very nicely done figure of the main character from the movie. If you're a fan of G.I. Joe in general, and not necessarily a fan of the movie, but you like Snake Eyes and want to have a figure of Snake Eyes, it's a pretty good figure of Snake Eyes. It's probably like the most, how do I put this? It's probably the cheapest one you can get right now because it's pretty easy to get for retail price. Whereas this one is about $30, and this one, you know, comes in a set with another figure, Timber the Wolf, and that's probably going to set you back like $40 at least if you can find it for. I think that's the retail price on it is $40, but you know, if you look at it on Amazon right now, I'm pretty sure you're going to find it selling for a little bit more than that. But this is one you can get for retail price, maybe even a little cheaper. I got him for a little cheaper on Amazon, so I didn't pay full retail price for him. And it's an okay Snake Eyes figure, just in general. If you don't want him to be the movie version, you don't have to put that Henry Golding head on him. You can just leave this mask on him and just pretend like that's the Snake Eyes from 1985, you know, just kind of more updated detail or whatever. But it's not a bad figure, other than, like I said, kind of my nitpicks with the mask. I wish he had more of a belt, and that would have been something you could put the knife sheaths on. And he doesn't have any guns whatsoever Like, he doesn't have a pistol. He doesn't have, like, one of those weird Nerf guns like they like to give the classified figures. No guns at all. So, you can probably go to the Dollar Tree and find some of those soldiers with the oversized guns and give them some kind of gun if you want to. Like I said, I've got, like, some kind of dollar store gun that I gave to this guy. This came with, what did this come with? I think this actually might have come with one of those military vehicles that I'm able to get for cheap on Amazon sometimes, like the Joy-In. Some of those come with an Uzi, but yeah. So, like, you could probably go to the dollar store and find some kind of soldier that comes with an Uzi that's oversized for that figure, but it'll fit perfectly in scale with this figure, and maybe put together a belt somehow. I don't know, and that would be a pretty good Snake Eyes figure. I would probably also put, like, some more matte finish onto the mask. Leave the visor glossy, because I think that looks good. But, like put a matte finish paint onto the rest of the mask. And, that would make the visor stand out a little bit more. Or you could just completely repaint the figure. Maybe make him blue to look like the cartoon show, or give them a silver visor, because that would stand out really well. Make some of these straps gray. You could do all kinds of things with them. You don't necessarily have to use this as the movie version of Snake Eyes if you didn't like the movie. And if you did like the movie, you got the movie version of Snake Eyes, so it's a win-win. But for me personally, I've already got, like, 2 Snake Eyes figures I'm really happy with. And like I said, I mainly just bought this to be custom fodder, and he's going to become a completely different character, and I'll probably have a video about that up at some point in the future, so look forward to that. Since I've got an extra sword now, since that character is not going to have a sword, I can give Morning Light to my 82 Snake Eyes, who technically didn't have a sword in 1982, but I always wished he did. So now at least my classified 82 Snake Eyes has one. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this Snake Eyes figure review. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and all the fun YouTube stuff down below. And I want to talk about the character of Snake Eyes. I want to talk about his portrayal in the movie. We'll talk about the movie itself. We'll talk about this figure. We'll talk about the other figures. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think about any of those subjects, and we will talk to you next time. Bye.